Hi guys, and welcome back to Scot Minis. I'm your host Scott, as we delve in deep into the weird and wonderful world of alternative miniatures for all your war gaming needs. This week I'm going to be taking a look at bad Squidoo Minis. Remember guys, just to subscribe and smash those like buttons if you want to see more content based on this. As we wrap up the week, as we've looked at UK manufacturers, into the next week we'll be shifting country and hopefully looking at other places across the world that do all these alternative war gaming miniatures for all your war gaming needs. So let's crack on with the show. Now, I've came across this company, Bad Squidoo Games. Fantastic, great company run by a lady who's, as far as I can work out, is based down in England. I could be wrong with that, but it's based down in England, and they do a fantastic range of different miniatures. So when I kind of had a look on here, I initially went on to the website. Took a little bit of getting used to be honest with you, but all I did was I typed in, because I noticed they did like a whole different range of miniatures from a couple of different suppliers, but I actually just typed in Bad Squidoo just to see their own range, because as I read up about the company, the lady that runs this company, who's based it around a lot of years, it looks like she'd been working in sort of like the tournaments and gaming for a lot of years, and kind of took the plunge into making her own miniatures. She actually employs a couple of designers to go off and do this, and she seems to, her company seems to specialise in a lot of, I would probably reckon, more female characters than anything else, which is really giving out some great stuff in a 28mm scale. A lot of it's casted in metal as well. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. In my experience the last couple of years, when we used to have the metal range, I'm sure some of you guys will know, you'd have your box full of miniatures, and what would happen is that as soon as you transport them over, or as soon as you're gaming with them, they'll start getting chipped, because 9 times out of 10 you're not even varnishing these. So what I found is a lot of these times is that the resin or the plastic actually holds the paint better. But when some of these miniatures, and this is the reason why they can get the prices actually a lot cheaper as far as I can work out, when it's cast in metal or pewter, it's actually a lot better. I actually had a quick look on this one, Miko the Vampire Hunter. Recently I've been looking at the Assassin's range from Games Workshop. So I've been looking to do either a Vindicator Assassin or a Calidus Assassin, just something like that, and kind of build up those type of guys. So I've been looking at some alternative miniatures that I can kind of fill that range in, as I've almost completed my Imperial Guard army. Looking at that Miko Vampire Hunter, great pose, fantastic looking miniature, actually a really good paint job as well, and for £4 it's a fantastic cracking little miniature that. But having a look over their different ranges, I actually came across this as well, Sergio the Saxman as well. How cool does that look? That's just so different and so unusual looking. Don't think there's many manufacturers out there that could say my miniature is his only weapon is playing that sax. How cool does that actually look? That actually looks so different and just a little bit out there, doesn't it? So just like I say, going through the website, they seem to concentrate on, they can obviously do a lot of fantasy battle style miniatures, whereas we've got everything from the vampire range. It's obviously pretty classic stuff, that. So you get a lot of the ghouls and the vampires and werewolves and things like that. And they also do a big range of World War II miniatures, which we'll have a look a little bit at later. But you know, well worth a check out. You know, even this I thought looked pretty sweet as well. You know, Margaret Vampire Hunter. Have them in your Vampire Hunter Games of Age of Sigmar. You can have that in your Empire army. Maybe have a special character that's went into a village and you've got the ghouls or the undead coming out, Nagash's forces, if it's Age of Sigmar, coming out of the village and trying to attack the villagers. You've got one hero that's defending them. You know, those type of scenarios would be great as a game. Just, like I say, always worthwhile just buying a good alternative miniature. You've got obviously quite a fair amount of choice. Let's have a look at this Victorian Witches. Again, really nice style, really like the facial features on that. Certainly when you look at a place in some of your games of even 40k, I've noticed some of the guys have started incorporating that kind of more an Edwardian Victorian style miniature into their modern sort of gaming features. So it can balance itself out and it can't look too unusual. Obviously, if it looks so removed from what you're trying to play in your army, then it's a bit of an eyesore, but you can get away with some of this stuff as well. That would look great for certainly a couple of special characters if you want to put them in your Chaos army, or even, I would reckon, possibly Dark Eldar, maybe some humans or Imperium troops that have been influenced by Dark Eldar, quite possibly. But it was the World War II as well, it caught my eye. I had a look over. I've noticed that a lot of these sort of World War II miniature manufacturers, they all kind of have the same sort of style. Not really anything different, but with this company they kind of did something a little bit out there. Did everything from kind of the, if you wanted to have like kind of the female army side of it, this is the kind of company to go to. The dancing couple look great. You know, just something so unusual and so different there. You can make up a cool couple of dioramas up with that as well. Looks fantastic, that. Working its way over to more the military. Wow, Princess Elizabeth and Mum. That looks great. I've never actually seen a company make that before as well. You know, and let's move on to my favourite, as all you guys know, Fantasy Dwarfs. This is what I really like as well. Again, pretty reasonable costs, I would reckon. Nothing over the top. 3-4 quid a miniature. Yeah, it's alright. I mean, if you're looking for something really different and out there, yeah, you can buy it. I noticed the delivery times were working to about 3-4 days. Really cool, interesting company to go and deal with. Postage costs were getting worked out. I think they were about 3-4 quid. If it was like for a single little miniature, probably working its way up with a bit of discount as well. Let's have a look over the Ghosts of Gaia post-apocalyptic. Here we go. So this, I think, would work in pretty well with any Necromunda squads. Really, really nice looking miniatures. Not really anything like I've seen before. And like I say, they've done a really cool kind of, they've got their kind of thing that they do is a lot of female miniatures that they'll have within their armies, and that's what they specialise in. I noticed that they were also doing a lot of animals as well, and a lot of kind of, I saw like a really cool section on this where they were doing fairies as well, and it just looks so cool, so actually just so different as well. Let's have another look over. I'll show you the animals part as well. But this is the one I really liked. That David the Cat Warrior, which I was like, wow, that actually looks so smart. That actually looks so cool. I don't know if he would be. I don't know what he would manage to do out in the battlefield. He'd either be sitting there because he'd be like Puss in Boots, sitting there, couldn't do much because he's wanting to lick his bowl of milk, or go out and use that great big hammer to bash the head in of an orc or something. But like I say, guys, really different company, something right unusual. And like I say, it looks like they do these kind of one-off pieces as well. It's exclusive to them. The busts I've spoke about on my previous videos, which I've never really bought into, but I've actually started following some of the other YouTubers, and they talked about the bus and how they like to paint them up and stuff. And it just looks absolutely fantastic. Just the detailing you can get on the face and things like that. I kind of wish Games Workshop did more of this range, because having them sitting up on a shelf would look really, really smart. Just really cool looking minis. Like I say, price wise, really reasonable as well. So it's well worth a check out, guys. It's www.badsquidoogames.com. Like I say, check it out, see what you think, and thanks again for watching this week, guys, and we'll catch up with you next week. Cheers, guys. Bye.